Hi guys, me Disaster Man 1111 here, and this is what you've been waiting for. I've been getting many requests to do a follow-up tutorial for the fort building one. Now, the fort building one I made has a lot of views. On average, each video has at least over 1,000, which is really good because that contributes greatly to my view count. And thanks for making it so popular, and I am going to give you what you want, a more challenging version, a more professional looking version, and a longer version, unfortunately. So just bear with it, and we can go ahead. So now we're gonna delete the base plate at our place. Now some requirements I forgot to mention are Roblox Studio opened, place. So if you can get an empty place, that would be great. And to start things off, I'm just gonna show you a few little like tricks and stuff. So let's go to recent models. Now I'm going to go to bigger part. I'll put a link in the description for this part. And I'm going to show you what to do with it. So some things you can do with the part are you can copy it and paste it by holding down Control, the letter C, and then holding down Control and the letter V at separate times. So if you keep pressing Control V, it'll make a lot of them. Now, if you did something wrong and you want to fix that, just hold down Control Z. Now, the undo, you hold down Control Y. It's that simple, very simple. And other things are, oh yes, the grouping. So I'm going to get another part. I'm going to select both the parts. I'm going to press Control G. And now it says model, and they are linked together as one. And to unlink them, just hold down Control U, and they're unlinked. So that's pretty important if you're trying to make models and things. I don't think... Oh yes, one last thing. These are not control shortcuts, however, they're just as important. Rotating, R is to rotate it. You have to make sure it's on a part, though, because for some reason, I think this might just be a me problem, but if I don't have a block on top of another part as I'm rotating, it won't actually rotate, so... And T is to tilt, so R is to rotate, T is to tilt. But you can't do it if it's not on top of a different part for some reason. You can hear me mashing it on the keyboard. See? So... Oh yes, and Control X is to delete. I knew I was forgetting something. Control X is to delete. Or just the delete button. So now that you have your control shortcuts down, I'm going to show you the toolbars up here. Now, the toolbars are quite simple. Let me actually get that part back. Select is to select and move things to your liking. The move tool, it looks like a cross, is to move things on an axis. That means up, down, side to side. Then, the scale tool is to make it bigger or smaller. And finally, the rotate tool is to rotate it to any angle you want that is in a certain axis. So rather than like the rotate tool, which like on the keyboard, which only rotates at 90 degrees, this rotates it at like 30 degrees, 15, like it rotates it at anything. So also, you could paint it by selecting a part, going to a color, and just clicking it, and I don't know why I made it that color, but who cares. And you can make it a certain material, like bricks, concrete, and sand. So, I believe that might be it. Oh, and on the sides here, I have Explorer open on this side, Properties open right below it, then on the other side, I have my Toolbox open, and then Advanced Objects underneath it. So if you have these, you'll be fine. Some people have output. I don't have that. and it's not really required, so I'm just telling you that. So, let's begin. I'm going to start off with a wedge. I unfortunately do not have a wedge model, so I am going to be pasting one in from the Advanced Objects tab. Make sure it's anchored because they don't start off anchored. This includes parts from the Advanced Object tab as well. I'm on the rotate tool. Alright, so I'm going to make a beach. Very long. Actually, I think that's too big. A very long and large beach. So here is my beach. Now, if you want to compare an actual person on it, let me just get the average noob. That's what a person would look like if he was standing on your fort. That's what it would look like. So it's a very large fort, I can already tell you that, and that's good. You would rather have it too big than too small. So, after you have your beach, I am going to make an ocean. How am I going to do that? I'm going to insert a block. I'm going to make it extremely tiny, like the smallest possible microbe I could possibly make it. I'm going to color it blue, bright blue, or any other blue, but I'm using bright blue just for this. And I am going to insert a block mesh from the Advanced Objects tab. I'm going to take that, I'm going to make the scale very large. So I'm thinking like 6 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the first one, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the second one. Not the middle one, keep that 1. You're going to press Enter. Now you're going to notice that there is a blue void and it's covering your beach. This is completely dealable. You just select the move tool while holding the part, and you can move it to any place you want it. I'm going to keep it like this. And some other thing you can probably do, I actually haven't tried this yet, but I think it might work. You can probably change the transparency so it's sort of see-through, which is pretty interesting. The higher the transparency, the more you can see through it. I'm going to keep it transparency 3. So you can kind of see through it a little bit. It looks like ocean. Pretty cool, huh? You can also change the material too, I think. Let me see. See, now it looks more like water. It's beautiful. Very beautiful indeed. So, now that you have your beach, it is time to essentially build the area surrounding it. Now this is where the raiders are going to spawn, so you're going to need that sort of spot. I'm going to make grass. Actually, I don't think that long, but I'm going to make a strip of grass. I'm just going to make sure it's even on both sides. I know the beach isn't really even, but I at least want that thing to be even. I think this is a good amount of space between the center and the side. Now, just so you know, I've been getting a lot of hate for this, and I really want to explain what happened. So this problem's been fixed. Don't worry, it won't happen in this tutorial. But in my previous fort tutorial, actually there were 2 major problems. In part 1, my audio died. I have no idea why, and I just wanted to apologize for that. I have no idea why that happened, and I filmed the entire tutorial by the time I realized. So I simply just said, "Fuck it, I'm not redoing the whole thing just because of one part." So I apologize in advance for probably the struggle it put on you for that one part, and yeah, I really apologize for that. It's not my fault. Now it is time to also discuss the other problem, as well as make some angles. I just want to discuss the other problem as I'm building. The other problem was that my Control Z wouldn't work one day, and I tried to fix a part, and it took up like 3 minutes of the video, which got a lot of people aggravated for some reason. More aggravated than I thought. I thought people would just think it's a little tiny problem, but no, people flip their shit. And I'm talking like a lot of people. I think that's the video with the most comments on my whole channel. It's just people flipping their shit about that one tiny technical error. So I apologize for that, and I'm hoping that nothing like that happens in this part. I really do, and if it does, I just want to apologize in advance, and I really hope that something like that doesn't happen for this tutorial. So, yeah, so if you notice, I've made little places on the side that, like, kind of almost make it seem like it's a giant dick, but also, like, it merges into one center area. So this is actually going to be grass. I'm going to make it grass material, and I'm going to color it bright green. No, that's not a good color. No. Why all these colors suck? That sucks. I'm just gonna have to go with I'm just going with bright green still. It looks very dark for grass, I think. But yeah, I think it's because Roblox has been changing the graphics, so everything's kind of either going darker, brighter, or kind of just is taken out completely. So now we are going to go with my personal favorite, the rocks on the sides. Now, to be honest, rocks could like make or break your fort. Now, the thing is, some people support this, I don't personally, but you could if you want, is making the rocks extremely detailed. Like, a lot of people do that, and I'm not a supporter of making the rocks very detailed. I'm just saying, it's not, like, it's not my favorite thing to do. It takes forever. It takes forever to do. But a very long time it takes, so I'm just warning you that if you want to make the rocks detailed, it takes forever, and I wouldn't do it. I would just make it a giant wall that surrounds the fort. So let me actually make it slate first before I copy it. So this is going to be a rock wall sort of thing that like make sure people don't like leave the map you want them to stay in. I think almost every single possible fort I have seen has this. So this is a very important part of your fort map. Now, let me just lower that down to the appropriate height. It looks a little different because Roblox, I've said before, has been changing the graphics, and yeah, it looks very different. There we go. Are they the same height? No, they're not. There we go. So I am going to copy that and move that so it looks exactly the same. No, well, yeah, I'm going to do that later, but I'm moving this so it kind of forms a little barrier. It's not the most detailed thing I've ever seen, but it gets the job done. And I don't think people would complain too much about the rocks kind of looking just like giant man-made walls. Like, what your excuse would be is, oh, we just carved perfectly into the rocks. And, yeah, some critics are very against this decision, but I am not a fort critic, and I normally don't listen to the fort critics. As long as your fort is fair and gets the job done, I believe you can do whatever the fuck you want with it. So just give me a sec, I have to like find the exact rotation. So like make it symmetrical on both sides. For some reason I can't. Maybe I should flip it. There we go. So let me just make sure it's even. So I'm going to move the base plate to the exact edge of the rock wall. Practically as exact as I can get it. One thing I do stress really greatly though, and you'll notice that as time goes on, is that I am like one of those people who has to have everything almost even. I think it's a symptom of OCD or something like that. I don't know if I have it or not, but I have to have everything precise. And right now, it seems like I might be like a millimeter off. The humanity. No, those fuckers. Like they could do this to me. Fuck. Making it 1 millimeter off from... There we go. Actually, a little crack here. I want that fixed. There we go. So on both sides, this side actually seems a lot longer. Both sides seem pretty good. And the beach seems rather complete. This is where the raiders are going to spawn. And I'll see you guys next time. And see you guys later.